Welcome back, everybody. This is lesson 3. Today we're going to be looking at developing a conversation between two sprites. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to get the sprites and a couple of tricks that you might want to know if you are choosing a character from the library that you might want to use. So let's get started. First thing I need to do to have a conversation is to have multiple sprites. So as you can see, I'm going to head right over to the right hand side here. I'll go slowly just down to the sprite button and I'm going to go into the library and have a look. Now I can go to people, but for today I'm going to go to fantasy because I've got an idea of what I'd like to use in my story. So I'm going to go to the wizard. I'm going to go back across because I need another character. I'm going to go back to fantasy. I'm going to choose the toad. And just because I know it's part of the story that I want, I'm going to go back again and I'm going to select the wizard's hat. Okay, I'm just going to pop that there. I need that for later on, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this cat. So remember, we click onto the cat, the sprite, we go to the bucket, click on the cross, and it gets rid of it. Right, because I'm developing this little piece of work, this project, I'm also going to have a background today, which means something, a scene. Instead of having a white screen, I'm going to have an actual background, a scene of somewhere. So if you follow the cursor all the way down to the bottom right here, and we're going to go onto the magnifying glass, and we're going to go and have a look for a scene that works. So I'm going to go to fantasy because I'm obviously working on a fantasy story, and I think I'm going to go to the witch's house. Okay. Right, next job. We are going to get this wizard, this poor wizard who's actually looking the wrong way at the moment. We are going to get this wizard to look at the toad because she's going to cast a spell onto the toad. She's going to have a conversation. Okay, so I'm going to click and make sure I click. I can either click on her or I can click down here on the sprite. And I'm going to go across here to my costume. So follow my cursor all the way across up to here. I'm going to click on costumes. Now this looks a bit scary, don't worry, this is, you can change and make sprites of your own, but there's a button over here. If you click on here, watch what happens to my wizard. Can you see how it spots from side to side? So I'm going to make sure that I click it horizontally. I'm going to flip it so that she is looking at the toad. Now we've done that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here to the menus. I've got my costume, I've got my code. Now this is where I'm going to get her to start having a conversation with the toad. So I've got to be thinking when we have a conversation, both people aren't going to, or both creatures are not going to be speaking at the same time. They're going to be talking when it's their turn. So I'm going to use my flag. I'm going to put that into the middle. Make it nice and big so you can see it. And I'm going to start thinking about what this wizard is going to say to the toad. So for them to speak, I'm going to go up to the motion, I'm going to go down to looks to the purple one that we've tried yesterday, and I'm going to pull a hello across. Okay, now if I just click that, I've got her saying hello to the toad. So have a think, what would the toad say back? Now we've done that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here to the menus. I've got my costume, I've got my code. Now this is where I'm going to get her to start having a conversation with the toad. So I've got to be thinking when we have a conversation, both people aren't going to, or both creatures are not going to be speaking at the same time. They're going to be talking when it's their turn. So I'm going to use my flag. I'm going to put that into the middle. Make it nice and big so you can see it. And I'm going to start thinking about what this wizard is going to say to the toad. So for them to speak, I'm going to go up to the motion, I'm going to go down to looks to the purple one that we've tried yesterday, and I'm going to pull a hello across. Okay, now if I just click that, I've got her saying hello to the toad. So have a think, what would the toad say back? Hopefully you've had a think about that. We're going to maybe say that the toad is going to speak back. Okay, so I'm going to go and click on the toad. Now the toad's got no programmable blocks, but it's got no code at the minute because I need to tell it what I want it to do. So I'm going to pop back across to my yellow. I'm going to go up to my flag and pull it across, make it a bit bigger so you can see it. And I'm going to go back again to my looks, my purple. I'm going to grab my say hello, and I'm going to slightly change this. Because it's a toad, I don't think it's going to say hello, I think it's going to say ribbit. Okay, now I'm going to press play and I want you just to have a look at the code. Right, what can you see? Aha, you've spotted it. Both characters are speaking at the same time. So I want you to think, how can I make this frog, this toad should I say, I'll keep saying that all the way through, how can I make this toad wait for its turn? Have a think. Yep, you're right. We're going to go across and we're going to put a wait button in. We're going to have to ask the toad just to wait for a moment. So I'm going to go across to my events, down to my control, get that wait, and I might change this. Instead of wait 1 second, I'm going to say wait 2 seconds, just to give the wizard a chance to speak. So I'm going to try again. I'm not going to click on this code here. I'm going to click on the flag at the top because I want both code for the wizard and the frog to start at the same time. So watch. Hello, ribbit. Now, I'm going to go back because the conversation tells me that the wizard is going to speak next. So my wizard is going to have a conversation with this toad and she is going to get the toad to disappear. Okay, so we know now that we have got her saying hello, the toad replying ribbit with a wait. So I'm going to go across again and I'm going to go and grab another say hello, but I'm also going to go back and get another wait, and I'm going to just pop that in between. So we've got her saying hello, the toad saying ribbit, and then she is going to say, I am really good at spells! Exclamation mark. So let's play it. Always keep playing your program back. Play the algorithm back. Watch and look to see if you need to debug it. Sometimes you might have to just change some of these weights just to make it work. Okay, so I'm just going to play it. Hello, ribbit. I'm really good at spells. Now, I want you to think to yourself, who is going to speak next? Yeah, you're right. It is going to be the frog. So I'm going to go back down to here. Always keep checking who is speaking and who is not. Okay, so I'm going to go jump back across. I'm going to go and grab a wait button. I'm then going to go back along. So you should find that you are jumping between the same blocks. He still isn't going to speak, but I'm going to just make it a bit longer. So he's going to say ribbit for a little bit longer. And then I'm going to play back and see what happens. Hello, ribbit. I'm really good at spells. Ribbit. And she's then we're going to jump back to the wizard. We're going to grab that there just because it's there, but I'm not going to put it on yet because I know that I need another wait button. But while that menu's open, keep jumping between the two. Abracadabra. Oops. There we go, exclamation mark. If you need to do an exclamation mark and you're not sure, remember to use your shift key, your arrow up, press that down, and then press the exclamation mark, which is normally where your number 1 is. Okay. So let's play that back. Hello, ribbit. I'm really good at spells. Ribbit. Abracadabra. Now, I am going to add the next part in where I'm going to make him wait. And this is the toad. Remember, I'm just checking down here that I've got the right person speaking. I'm going to say hello. Now I've changed it to capitals because He has really shouted that ribbit. Okay. At the same time, I'm going to see if my wizard can say. Actually, I'm not going to say. I'm going to do think. He has gone. I'm going to just go back because I always like to make sure I use a capital letter. So remember, if you need to use a capital letter, press your shift key down and press the capital that you want to make, or use a caps lock, press it, use the key, and then go back and turn your caps lock off. Okay, let's press play and see what happens. This is where I might need to do some debugging. Hello, ribbit. I'm really good at spells. Ribbit, abracadabra. Now I'm going to put a slight delay in where she says abracadabra and then thinks, oh, he's gone. So I'm just going to jump in there, grab that weight. 1 second. Now what I want you to think of, we know that they're both speaking. What do you think should happen to the toad now? That's right, we want the toad to disappear. So remember, to get the toad to disappear, we have to go up to our look. So just follow my cursor, it's going to go along over to the left here, to the looks, to the purple. We're going to zoom down a little bit more and we're going to press the word hide. Now, what we need to do is when the toad hides, we need the hat to appear, but we need to time it at the correct time so it happens at the same time. So I'm going to go down and just count my numbers. I've got 2 seconds here, 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds. Oh, I've just spotted something. What have I done? I've put that hide on the wrong person. Look, I didn't check. So I'm going to put that back over there and I'm going to jump onto my toad. Sorry about that, I've just spotted. So I'm going to bring that hide across and pop it on here. Do the same thing. I want that hat to appear when the toad disappears. So I've got 2 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm going to count that up. 2 and 2 is 4, 1 more is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so after 10 seconds, this toad is going to hide. I want that wizard's hat to appear. So I'm going to click on the wizard's hat. And I'm going to put the show. Now, what block do I need between the hide and the show? Have a think. Yeah, that's right. We need another weight block. So I'm going to jump back in here and I'm going to pop it in between the two. Just hover it over with your finger and it'll jump in. Now, if I remember, I think it was 10 seconds. I'm going to just double check. I'm going to play it and see what happens. Hello. Ribbit. I'm really good at spells. Ribbit. Abracadabra. Ribbit. Oh, he's gone. Fantastic. We have managed to get them to have a conversation and we've managed to get that poor toad to disappear. Now the last thing, just because I like to do it, I'm going to put another wait 1 second in here. This is where you can make it your own. And I'm going to do a little say button. And I'm going to ask a question. How do I get him to come back? Question mark. Remember, you can press the caps lock and then your question, which is just over on the right at the bottom, or you can press the shift key down and there we go. How do I get him to come back? Now that is your work complete. I'm just going to run it through one more time just to check I'm happy. Abracadabra. Oh, I've spotted something. He hasn't come back. So I'm just going to jump on here and get him to come back. Now, if you're playing this through and he does hide, you can do a little trick, which is fantastic. Okay, I'm going to go and get a special button to get my toad to appear back. Okay, so I'm just going to go to my looks. I'm going to go down and get the word show. And this is a special key. I'm going to go across here to my control buttons. Sorry, my events button. Not this first one, the second one here, when the space bar is pressed. I'm going to pull that across, pop it in here. So now at the beginning of every game, I can press the space bar. Here we go, space bar. There we are. We've got the hat back, and we've got the tote back. So I'm just going to press play, and there's my code running again. Right, have fun. I hope this has been helpful for you. Enjoy making your project, and remember, this can be done with any of the characters in there, but just remember, if you need to flip that character horizontally so that they're looking at their partner, that's the best way to do it. Okay, go back and have a look. All right, speak to you soon. Have fun.